What is going on, my friends, and welcome back to another video here on the channel. Well, Kaspa's price is absolutely sent, and I want to make a video kind of going over what's happening now, what I'm expecting next, and much more. Now, with that said, let's not waste any more time at all, and let's get straight into it. Now, guys, you know we have been absolutely on Kaspa recently. I told you all not too long ago, just freaking 3 days ago, that we were needing to watch very closely what was happening with this inverse head and shoulders. I said, look, we got left shoulder, we got head. Are we going to get right shoulder? If so, what that's going to look like is us coming back down, building up some support on top of this bounce zone, using that bounce zone to head back to resistance and break out to the upside. And guys, I mean, look where, like, even look where we put the right shoulder in. You know what I mean? It's just craziness. It's crazy to see these things come to fruition, and I have seen your messages. I do appreciate you all for messaging me, emailing me, commenting, talking about what happened with Kaspa here. Thank you so much. Now, what in the world happens next? I think that's the question on everybody's mind. It's all great to bask in the glory, whatever, right? We were right and our purchases are up. That's cool. But the question now becomes, what happens next? That's what I want to talk about in today's video. Now, guys, don't forget, if you do want to trade some Kaspa yourself on up to 50x leverage without needing to KYC, without even needing to use a VPN, you can just sign up and start trading. Check out that BTCC link down in the description below. I've been doing a ton of trading on there recently, and I worked out a crazy deal for you guys. You're going to get up to 10% back on your deposits above $500. This means, guys, if you deposit $4,000, they're giving you $400 to trade with and keep the profits. There's no catch. You keep your profits. This is them giving it back to you. So go check that out down below. You're also going to get up to another $10,000 in bonuses and an SVIP, which lowers your trading fees by 40%. So don't miss out on that. It won't last forever. If you miss out on it, you will regret it. So go check that out down below and let me know what you think. Now, looking at Kaspa here, okay, let's get into what the future looks like now that we have broken out of this inverse head and shoulders, and now that we are making this beautiful move to the upside. So the first question that I ask myself in this scenario, right, of what happens next is, well, okay, did we fully break out of the inverse head and shoulders first? I think that's the most important thing to think about first. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the breakout distance, or just the distance from the, let's just call it the top side of the inverse head and shoulders to the bottom side of the head, and you're going to apply that to the top side of your inverse head and shoulders. This gives you a breakout target of 15.6 or 15.6 cents, and we're currently seeing Kaspa around 16 cents. So this means Kaspa has now successfully made a full breakout of the inverse head and shoulders, again, that we've been talking about for a couple days here. And so now, knowing that the full breakout has happened, we obviously now need to zoom out even further if we want any sort of idea of what's supposed to happen next here. Well, the first thing that I will tell you is when a crypto reaches its macro breakout target, it has a macro structure, it reaches the macro target, you do need to be a little bit careful, okay? It's not very uncommon or rare that when a crypto will hit its breakout target, that it starts to pull back, cool down, consolidate, whatever. Why? It's because everyone's taking profits. It's normal. We've seen some profit taking here from Kaspa over the last few hours, but I do expect that it will pick up a little bit. I personally did take a little bit of profit off the table. I opened up an 8x leverage trade on Kaspa once it broke out of that inverse head and shoulders. Obviously, that thing is up a couple 100%, so that's doing well. I took profit off of that thing as well, and I do expect, again, that other people will also. And so because of that, that is something to watch out for right now. Quite simply, that Kaspa's price may cool down, may pull back, etc. But what I will let you know is, quite frankly, I don't care if Kaspa's price pulls back at this given point, because this bad boy is making some crazy good moves, and if it continues even remotely in this direction, we could see Kaspa finally setting itself up to push up to what I think could be 32 cents, which is still a 2x from here. Now, let me explain to you why I think Kaspa still has the opportunity to 2x from here, and could even go higher, obviously, but let's just start with that. Well, what I'm looking at now with Kaspa is the more macro structure. Okay, I'm looking at the more macro structure. And there's two major things that I'm looking at right now. First and foremost, this descending level of resistance that Kaspa seemingly is trying to break above right now. I'm not going to go ahead and call it and say that this is broken out of, because by the time the day ends by 5 p.m. tonight, we could see Kaspa's price all the way back down below 15 cents and back below this structure. So I'm not going to say for sure we've broken out of here yet until we do start getting some daily closes. But again, we do have this descending structure, and we have our macro Fibonacci zone from, of course, our swing high down to our swing low. Now, these two levels are going to be very, very, very important going forward. Almost nothing else is going to matter. If Kaspa's price is capable of not only just breaking above this level of resistance and maintaining it, but also breaking above its 618 to 786 zone, it has a breakout target, guys, first and foremost to 25 cents and secondly to 32 cents. Because historically speaking, when a crypto not only can break a macro trend, which this is a macro trend because it's from August, right? A macro trend, but it's also capable of breaking its breakout zone, or the 618 to 786 Fibonacci zone, it will historically not only just enter into midterm price discovery, but also break up towards its Fibonacci extension zones, which in this case would be the 1.272 Fib extension at 25 cents, or the 1.618 Fib extension at, of course, the 32-cent mark that I told you about before. And so although it's not a guarantee right now that this is going to happen, we can quite clearly see that Kaspa is giving it a try. And so going forward, what you need to be paying the most amount of attention to is whether or not Kaspa's price not only is going to be able to maintain and sustain a breakout above this descending level of resistance, but if at some given point it's going to be able to break 17.6 cents. This is our new goal. You remember how with the inverse head and shoulders, our goal was 12.5 cents, and I told you if we break that, all hell breaks loose. This is the next one. Even if we pull back a little bit to the downside, even if we consolidate, go sideways, it doesn't matter. The moment that we inevitably do break 17.5 cents, I do believe that all hell's going to break loose, and that we're going to see Kaspa's price try to push up towards 20 cents, towards 25 cents, towards 32 cents, and start trying to open this bad boy up to continuing this move that we were making in the beginning of the year and the end of next year. And so at this given point, I do believe in the short term and maybe even close to the midterm that buying some Kaspa right now is risky and maybe not the best idea unless you're able to stomach cooldowns, corrections, and pullbacks, because it is very possible and very likely that since we are now entering this zone for the first time in a while and it just hit its breakout zone, that we may cool down a little bit, or we may pull back. Our RSI is showing overextensions. We're fully extended outside of our Bollinger Bands. These are all things that do imply that we might see this thing cool down or pull back. But in the grand scheme of things, as long as Kaspa's price is maybe even able to maintain above this line, or just does find some sort of good support, maybe on top of this previous point of resistance, the likelihood is that it's going to try to break out of this 618 to 786 box. And in the time in which that does happen, we're looking for a move to the upside, which could be anywhere from another 50 to 100% in gains. And so overall, my primary thesis here is midterm, short term, a little bit risky, long term still looking very good. And so overall, I'm feeling extremely bullish. And so let me know what you think down in the description below. How are you feeling? I know a lot of you guys are, you opened up some of those purchases that we did. We did some buying on Kaspa at the bottom of that inverse head and shoulders, and those purchases are up like nuts. So let me know how you're doing down below. And don't forget, while you are down there, you can get up to $10,000 in bonuses and rewards, a 10% deposit bonus, and an SVIP giving you 40% lower trading fees if you do want to trade some Kaspa on up to 50x leverage in the link down in the description below. Check out BTCC. Let me know what you think, and I can't wait to see you all in the next one. Peace out, everybody.